I'm Ashton Kofer with Lakeshore Cryotronics, and this is a shortcut video of the MeasureLink MCS software. In this MeasureLink scripting tutorial, we will be adding custom UI parameters to the voltage measurement script that we made in the previous video, as well as learning how to register your script. So to begin, we're going to open the voltage measurement script that we made in the previous video. And it is called Voltage Test Tutorial. Currently, this script uses the Lakeshore 155 precision voltage source combined with a Keysight 344 28 voltmeter to loop through a set of voltages, and for each voltage, output that voltage on the Lakeshore 155 and record the voltage on the Keysight, and it will display that data in a variety of graphs, charts, and reports. But one of the issues with this script is that if the user wants to modify some of the values in the script, such as the counting value or the range of the voltages, they have to physically go into the script and change the values. And this is not user-friendly and it's difficult. Luckily, MeasureLink offers an easy way to create UI parameters so that a user can enter parameters into a text box. So each MeasureLink script actually has two scripts. The data acquisition script, which contains all of the values and the variables and the calls to the instruments, and the UI settings script, which controls the UI text box in which a user can enter in parameters. Now you can switch between the data acquisition script and the UI settings script by clicking on this bottom tab. And you can see that there is currently nothing written in the UI settings script because we have not set up the UI parameters yet. But we can go ahead and do that by calling the start group command. The next thing we're going to call is script.separator, and this is just going to create a line break to format the UI. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to call script.numeric text box, which will actually create the place where a user can enter in a parameter. So for each numeric text box that we create, each one is going to have many different parameters. So this first one is going to be the name that the data acquisition script will actually call to fetch the value. The second one is going to be the caption that the user will see on the UI. This next one is going to be the units. We're going to leave it as empty for now. This next one is going to be the number of decimal points after the decimal. And this last one is going to be the value that is default. So we're going to have it default with 0.5. And you can also look on the MeasureLink API reference for more information on each of these numeric text boxes. You can see that this first numeric text box is the counting value. So how much does the voltage increase each time? And next, I'm going to do another numeric text box for the minimum voltage and the maximum voltage. Okay, so right now we're finished creating the UI. So in review, the UI settings script first calls start group, which creates the UI. It then calls separator, which creates a separator to format the UI. And then it creates 3 numeric text boxes in which a user can enter in parameters. Now we're going to switch over to the data acquisition script. So currently, we have created a UI in which a user can enter in parameters. But right now, there is no way for the data acquisition script to fetch those values. So right now, we're going to add at the top a way to fetch those values from the UI. For our first UI parameter, count value, you can see that we first created a variable and set that equal to script.getUIDouble of the string of count value. And you can see that that string is identical to the one that we put in when we created the numeric text box. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other 2 parameters. And now that we have created these variables that are initialized by whatever the user enters into the UI, we can go ahead and substitute them into the rest of the script. Now we are finished with our script and we can go ahead and test it. So to test it in the scripting pane, we're going to want to first go to the UI settings tab and then click run. And you can see on the right hand side our UI was created. So let's say that we want to count by 0.5 volts and we're going to go from 2 volts to 6 volts. Now we can switch to the data acquisitions tab and we can click start. And you can see that our measurements went from 2 to 6 and it counted by 0.5 volts each time. We're now at a point where the script can actually be packaged up and potentially run as a sequence in combination with other scripts. So to register your script, we're going to want to first go to the home pane, and then we're going to want to click measurement registration and then new. To register your script, we're going to first click browse and we're going to find our script called voltage test tutorial. We're going to give it a title. Let's just say voltage output test. In description, it's going to be loop through a range of voltages on a Lakeshore 155 and record the results on a Keysight 3428. So this grouping tab is another way in which you can actually put your script in a group and then it'll make it easier to find. And we're just going to leave that out for now, but it is optional. And we're going to click OK. So right now our script is packaged up and registered with MeasureLink. And if we want to run it, we can actually run it through the sequence pane. So let's go to the home pane and then click on sequence. And in the sequence pane, we can add our script by clicking on measurement, and then we'll find our registered script right here. So we'll click, and it is added into this pane. And to begin, we can first enter in the parameters into this UI. So let's say we want to have it count by, let's say 1.25, and we want it to go from 3 volts to 10 volts. Then we just click start, and you can see that all of our data is printed in this results tab, and we can easily export our data when we're finished. So that will do it for this shortcut video of the MeasureLink MCS software. And to learn more about MeasureLink, please see our additional videos.